business leaders that I've enjoyed meeting are those that are visionary, very like some of the leaders in this region. Those leaders who have been determined, those sheikhs who have been determined to grab the countries and drag them into modernization, recognizing that you can't live on past glories. You have to learn the lessons and move on.
Why or how did you first get into business journalism? Would you do it again after everything that's
By accident. By accident. I'd always been interested in business news, and I was working for the BBC in those days, and I was attached to their business unit, and it was Black Monday. And you know, I've always been a firm believer in business news and business television, and really it comes down to this: what's the most important things in our lives?
Food.
Yes. Fresh air, water, but they're the core of life. And after that, you get to not money, but how you earn and how you spend your money. And I find that fascinating. And you can see it in the Dubai Mall. You can see it in every shop in this emirate. You can see it throughout the UAE. People are making economic decisions. Sometimes they're making them on the grandest scale, whether it's a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or a Jaguar vehicle. Other times, it's some of the more modest things. Do I buy that t-shirt, or that t-shirt? But it's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing.
When you have the status that you do have, when you've attained a certain level of fame that you do have, what you present on your show, what you choose to cover as part of your career has a direct impact on policymakers in the business world and indeed around the world. How do you balance that kind of responsibility? Are there any particular causes or issues perhaps that you've tried to push forward as part of your career because you felt like you could make a difference in that way? How does that balance work?
The moment the interviewer believes he is anything more than the mouthpiece of the audience, you're sunk. You're absolutely sunk. It is a dangerous, lethal cocktail of arrogance and grandiosity to believe that one is more important than the person one's speaking to or the subject one is speaking about. And when it's over, and I've said, whatever you're up to, I hope it's profitable. And when I've said that, I go home and I put my feet up and have a cup of tea.
From one business presenter to another who still has much to learn, what are some tips of the trade? And obviously you're someone who's made a career of making business not boring. How do you do that?
Why did I buy this watch? Why have you got an Android phone? Watch about you what people are doing. That's what business news is all about. And I'll tell you what you need to do always. You always remember that the other person has a point of view. And that point of view is entitled to be heard. Not everybody is a villain. Not everybody is a crook. But everybody needs to be questioned about why they're doing what they're doing.